Welcome back to Photoshop, everyone. Today we're going to create a repeating pattern. So go up to File, New. The shortcut is Command N. And let's call this repeating pattern. The canvas size, make sure it's set to pixels. And we're going to have a perfect square canvas, so we'll set our pixels to 500 by 500. And we'll leave our resolution at 72 since we're not going to be printing. And let's change our background contents to transparent. And there you have it. We have a perfect square canvas. And over here is our default transparent layer. So we'll just call that background for now. For today's lesson, we'll need to center our graphic. So to do this, we're going to use the ruler tool. Find this up in the View menu. Click on View and go to Rulers. The shortcut is Command R. Now you'll see that on the left and top of your screen you have a ruler. All you have to do is click and drag from the ruler to create a guide. This guide won't show up in any of your prints. It's just for you to measure your canvas and align your graphics. We're going to click and drag from the left and from the top. Notice the size of our canvas is almost 7 inches. So half of 7 inches would be 3.5, but we're almost going to go to 3.5. Just back it up a little bit there. And there you have it. You've now divided your canvas up equally in a vertical fashion. But there's another tool you can use to divide your canvas up as well. You go to View, Show, Grid. The shortcut is Command apostrophe. This will break up your canvas into an even grid. This is a really precise tool so that you can align things up just the way you want it. Alright, now let's grab a guide from the top of our screen there. Pull down some horizontal guidelines. And once again, almost 3.5 will be our center point. And there we have it. Now that we have our canvas all lined up, let's get started with the graphics. Today we're going to use our shape tool. Remember, the shortcut is U. You can leave your mouse hanging over the shape. And click and hold down to select the custom shape tool. And up here, the custom shape tool has its own little options. If we click the drop arrow, you'll see that there are many custom shapes to choose from. Now this window can be expanded by clicking and dragging out the right corner, like so. Or you can drag it out this way if you'd like. It's up to you. Over here you have a little gear in the right corner, top right corner. If you select that, we can change the way the items in this window are displayed. We have a small list. And as you can see, we also have a large list. But for today's lesson, let's leave it at small thumbnail. Alright, back to the gear. And notice that all of the items are categorized from animals to tiles to web. We're going to choose animals, and it says, would you like to replace the current shapes? Yes, we would. And here you have a list of the animals that are available. Click on Film, and there you go, your film options. Today I think I'm going to go with nature. Alright, now we've got many choices here to select from. I think we'll do something on life cycles. So I'm going to choose the butterfly. So I double click the butterfly, set my color. Let's go with a sort of a pink or magenta. This will work. Alright, I just want to check to make sure that we're still creating shape layers. And I want to center this butterfly, but if I just click and drag holding shift, I'll get a proportionate butterfly, but it's not centered. And sure, I can move it with the move tool, but I'd like to show you an easier way to keep things centered. So to undo this, I'm going to pull up my history window that we learned from last lesson. And as you recall, we can go back in time. And this time I'm going to center my mouse and hold shift and option as I drag out the butterfly And this way the image will grow from the center click. There you have it, a nicely centered butterfly. Let's just name this layer. And then we're going to need to duplicate this layer. You can do that by dragging it down to the new layer button. That's also kind of a little bit of a hassle. Let me show you a quicker way. I just did an undo, that was Command Z. But if I go up to Layer, and you're going to go to New Shape Layer via Copy. The shortcut is Command J. So I'll go ahead and hit Command J, and there you go. I have a copy of my shape layer. And let's talk about how to remove these grids and these guides. If you hit Command apostrophe, that removes the grid lines, and Command semicolon gets rid of the guidelines. So again, there you go, the grid and guidelines, easy to remove or to put back on. So let's go up to Filter, and we're going to go down to Other, and we're going to look for something called Offset. Now, it's asking us if we'd like to rasterize our shape layer first. We can hit OK, or if you'd like to rasterize your layer before you get there, right-click on the title and choose Rasterize Layer. What this does is it turns the object or the shape layer into a regular layer with pixels. So again, Filter, Other, Offset. So we're going to use this filter to divide our image up into 4 equal parts. Make sure wraparound is selected. And then think about the size of your canvas, 500 by 500 pixels. So if we wanted to split this image in half, what would half of 500 be? That's right, 250. Notice how the image was split horizontally. Well, now we're going to cut it vertically. So again, 250 pixels. And voila, you have an image that has been split equally into 4 parts. Now, this is important when creating a repeating pattern. You'll see why in a moment. Over here you see that the 2 shape layers are still separate, but we're going to need a layer for our background. So we'll click the new layer button, and we'll drag this to the bottom so that it ends up in the back of our graphic. Name that background. And we're going to need to change our foreground color here. We're using our paint bucket tool for this. Let's see, let's get a color that will go nicely with this magenta purple, get a light yellow, and make sure we're on our background layer, and go ahead and fill in the layer. Now if we drag this to the top, of course it's going to cover our image, so we'll make sure again that that layer, your background layer, is on the bottom of all your layers. Now, we're going to go up to Edit. We're going to define this graphic as a pattern. Let's name this Repeating Pattern underscore butterfly. Alright, now that this cool graphic that we just created has become a pattern, let's create a new document. Let's say we were making this for a web page or something. Go ahead and select US paper and click OK. Here's what you can do with this new pattern you just created. We're going to unlock the background here by double clicking the title and clicking OK. And double click on the layer to pull up your layer style window. See where it says pattern overlay? When you select that, it gives you this default bubble pattern. What we can do is hit the drop arrow here and check that out. Our pattern or our graphic is in there now as an available choice. When you select it, you can see how it fills up the entire area and how you can rescale the size of this pattern simply by using the slide bar. Let me show you something else you can do with this really cool pattern you just created. I'm going to keep it simple for now, but use your imagination. What you can do with this tool. So simple example is if I go ahead and create a blue ellipse here or a blue circle, and I'm going to go over there and double click to bring back my layer styles window and check it out. You can use your pattern overlay on shapes as well. Now today it's a butterfly and a yellow background, but you can create your own patterns and templates and use them like a skin or a pattern overlay for any object or graphic you create. So if you feel comfortable with this, use your imagination, go create some new projects, and have some fun. We'll see you next time.